Welcome everyone to our Sunday X39 Review and Testimonial call. Today is Sunday, August 16th, and thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful day. We're going to have first hear some wonderful testimonials from people, and then from there, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to use the patches, and then Peter's going to go into how to share them, or if you would be interested in doing the business, you may do that also. I just want to headline that basically the testimonials you're going to hear, we are not here to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or ailment. And if you have any pre-existing condition, please always consult with your doctor for more information on using the patches. So Peter, how are you today?
It's hot out here in Palm Springs. I got a little tan, as you can see, but I'm sweating out here. They're having music inside the house, so I'm just out here enjoying this yard. And welcome everyone. Happy Sunday. We have an incredible lineup today of a couple of our favorite testimonies from Rose and Randy and Andrée today. So we'd love to bring up Rose and Randy first. How are you? Can you hear us? We'll probably have to unmute you, Rose. Rose, hello? Okay, let me see this. If Rose can't get out. Okay, Andrée, can you unmute yourself? We'll start with Andrée.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, Rose, is that you?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Rose. How are you?
Okay.
Way to go, Rose.
All right.
Okay, so my story began a long time ago. In high school, I started having pain in my shoulders. And it was up to me to clean our apartment, to scrub the floor, have dinner ready, because I was raised with a single mom. And so I was having trouble and pain in my shoulders. And of course, didn't think anything of it. And I was in beauty school. Hello, Peter, beauty school. And I got married, had 2 children, and went through a lot of stress. And I believe that my autoimmune issue, my RA, was dormant, and with a lot of stress, it brought it out. So at about the age of 25, I was diagnosed with RA, which means rheumatoid arthritis. And the doctor sent me home with some pictures of what I'd look like in the future, and to take 12 to 14 aspirin a day. I went into denial, but that didn't help. Eventually, I pursued medical doctors, and I was put on every kind of medication that was available at that time back in the 70s. They've now been discontinued. I've been to Mexico for treatment 2 different times. I just finally gave up. And this winter, 2020, in February, I was having a very difficult time with pain. I couldn't even pull a sheet up over me. My husband had to put a sheet up over me. I couldn't walk very far. I had a support on my left knee. I had a back sciatica in my back. My left hand, I lost use of my left hand. And I was watching the inflammation and the disfiguration take place. And I just started praying. I said, God, help me. Answer my prayers. I've prayed for over 50 some years. And through Facebook, he answered my prayer. I saw a friend from a long time ago post that she was pain free. And I PM'd her and I said, I want to know what you're doing. She shared with me and I said, I'm doing this. So we signed up with the Diamond right away, because my husband said, we're going to do this. We're going to help other people because we're going to have our lives changed. He knew ahead of time. So we signed up as a Diamond. My very first day, I put the patch on and I had tears of joy. My pain started to dissipate rapidly, and every day has just gotten better. I don't wear a support on my knee anymore. I can walk around our entire resort. There's 1,000 houses here. I walk around it with no pain. I have no sciatica. My shoulders were so bad this winter, but now I can I can lay in bed and raise my arms up and put them all the way back behind. I have no pain in my shoulders. I had a spot on my face right by below my tear duct that kind of looked suspicious. That has gone away. I had like a little cyst or something on my bottom, and it never hurt and never grew, but it was there for years. That's gone. It was like a pea-sized little cyst. It's gone. I walked by the mirror the other day in the bathroom, and I had to go back and look, and I thought, oh yeah, my skin is improving at 74 3/4 years of age. So I'm excited, and I've been telling everybody about the patches, and their lives are being changed, and our finances are being changed, which we needed. We really needed. So I am just ever so grateful, and I am happy. I had a tendency to get down or be discouraged, and I know with this COVID and being confined, it would have really gotten to me. But because of my health transformation, Life Wave, I'm excited and happy every day for new beginnings and new people that I can help. And with that, I'm going to turn you over to my handsome husband of 80. He's 85 years old.
Woohoo!
Thank you, my dear. One thing about Rose, she was in pain for over 50 years. There wasn't one day during that 50-year period where she was not in pain. And I would watch her at night. She'd sit in a chair and she'd just cry. And nothing we could do until the Lord brought Life Wave into our life. And now it's been a blessing. The pain's gone. So, okay, my own story. I have three, I hope, quick stories here. The first story, I suffered with a back pain that would go around from my back to my right front. This would happen from a time I would wake up in the morning until about noon. And this pain was bad. And I put up with it for months. Finally went to doctors, went to the VA. Nobody could figure out what it was. CAT scans. Nobody knew. And then I found out about the patch. Put the patch on, and you can guess what happened. The pain went away. So that's story number one. Story number two. A couple of months ago, I woke up when my right foot was swollen. And Rose looked at it and said, "You have gout." And so I went to the doctor, and he said, "You have gout." And okay, I've got gout. And it was very painful. And he gave me a prescription of what, Rose?
Prednisone to take 10 milligrams a day for 7 days. I said, we're not doing that. We're putting a patch in your foot.
So, and then 2 days with a patch on my foot, the pain went away.
The swelling.
And the swelling went down, disappeared, and that took care of the gout. Third story. On May 11th, I had an operation. I had a kidney operation. The doctor took out a mass on my kidney, and it had cancer. And prior to that, not knowing what I was doing, or not knowing the effect it would have, I was on the patch, and for about a couple months. A couple of months I was on the patch, and every day, of course. And then on May 11th, I have this operation. That was a Monday. Thursday, I went home. Yeah. And what kind of pain pills did I have?
Well, the doctor prescribed narcotics for pain. He came home and he took 2 Tylenol, and that was it. He never had any pain.
The pain, I didn't have any pain. And this is my point here is I've never heard anybody talk about the patch being used as a pre-operative method of not having pain.
Oh.
I've never heard that happen. The idea is when you have an operation, what gallbladder or appendicitis or whatever, get on the patch before the operation as far ahead as you can, and build it up inside of you, of course. And then you have the operation, and the patch is there, and it's, the effect of it is that there's no pain, there's just nothing except smiles and
quick healing.
Yes. So that's another use of the patch, besides the hair and the sleep and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Pre-operative medical or what pre-operative way to take care of your operation. And I'd like to emphasize that because it works so well with me. That
yeah, he had 6 incisions in the trunk of his body, and he didn't have pain.
Wow.
And they cut out the mass and sewed it up, and he came home and didn't have pain in 3 days.
Wow.
And walking and driving, yeah.
So
incredible, Randy.
So those are my 3 stories. I could probably have more, but that's, and yeah, I'm sure you'd all like to hear a lot more. But I'm quit for now.
Well, we'll definitely bring you in the next few months and give us an update on everything else that what just happened in the last few months. And you know, when I had a chance to talk to Rose and Randy, I mean, when I heard her story, it's just incredible how someone can put up with pain for that long. Mm-hmm. Because I remember, like I said, I even had like a little sciatica twitch on my back for the first time, and I would have paid anything to get rid of it just for that one day. So I can only imagine what 50 years looks like, Rose. And I just want to let everyone know how committed Rose and Randy are, because, you know, at this age in the golden years, to get into a phase where now you're pain-free, and even seeing you both here on using technology and embracing technology like this. And everyone, Rose is really going gusto for the business, and so proud of you, and you know, for what you do and sharing your story. And watch out, everyone. You will see Rose on the stage with Randy, okay? So thank you folks so much for sharing. And our next speaker, testimonial also. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome. And our next testimonial is Andrée Clearwater, and she and Mark are also really busting through this business and just sharing with everyone. And she has an incredible testimonial update for herself. So, Andrée, are you on the line? We can unmute you.
I'm unmuted. Okay.
How are you today? What's up, Mark?
Hey, guys.
So, Andrée and Mark, you can share your story, Andrée, where you're at now in this beautiful heaven and beach. And can you share with us an updated testimonial for you and how everything's been going?
Yeah. Well, the other day you asked the question, what was your life like 3 months ago? And our lives have been totally changed in the past 3 months, location-wise and health-wise, financially, you know, on all fronts, business-wise. So 3 months ago, we were living in a city, and I was having to deal with freeway driving. And when COVID hit, my acupuncture office that I worked in, that I managed, closed down. And so I had to pick up extra hours with visiting angels. So I was doing all of this home health care for really minimum wage and having to work like 80 hours a week in order to pay the bills. And very stressed out because some of my nights were overnights. And of course, when you do overnights, you can't sleep. So I was working anywhere from 2 to 4 overnights a week. And it was kind of depressing. I mean, I was getting up, you know, meditating, going to work, coming home and sleeping. And that was pretty much my life. I mean, we did have a beautiful place to meditate. We'd walk down to a canal and there'd be nature and wildlife and birds, and that was nice. But it was a hard routine. And Mark has a type 1 sugar problem. And so every time I went out into the work world, I had to be super careful that I wouldn't bring COVID back home to him. And so we had been really contemplating and saving up to, you know, possibly do a $25,000 stem cell implant for his pancreas. And so that was sort of on our agenda. And then Victoria called me up in May, middle of May, and she had Juliana on the line. And then she got you on the line, Peter. And you started telling us about the stem cells, the stem cell activation patch. And suddenly we didn't have to pay $25,000 for an implant. For the price of a cup of coffee, we could have this miracle happen. And I think we talked for like 15 minutes, and that was it. I mean, I just said, sold. I didn't need to try a patch. Mark didn't need to try a patch. We just signed up. At that point, we were naive. We signed up with the Gold Pack. And then a week later, we ended up going to Diamond because we realized we needed a bunch more patches to share with people. So we did that. And now it's been a little less than 3 months. Our 3-month anniversary is coming up in about a week. And we have been able to leave that job in the, with the freeways in the hot city. And we've moved to our dream place in Florida, right on the beach. We meditate on the beach every sunrise and every sunset. And I go swimming, and then we come home and I just make my LifeWave texts and calls and catch up with people, and we're having the time of our lives. And we've gone from purgatory to heaven. And
I can see it in your face. Awesome.
I love pumpkins and flowers. So as far as the physical, I had a major childhood scar on my thigh. I fell in a well when I was a little kid, and a pipe went through through my leg, and it came out around my hip, and I thought it was my hip bone coming out to my hip, but it was the pipe. So it had been a sewer pipe, so it was a major, major infection. I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and they had to just open up the wound and just put saline solution on it every 4 hours. So I had this really ugly scar my whole life, and nothing has ever really been able to touch it. And until in these past 3 months, I started with the patch. I took a before picture, and just the other day, I took my after picture after just about almost 3 months. And the scar has gone from this ugly, deep wound looking thing to my skin is like flattened out. And it just amazed me. I was so thrilled that I took that before picture so I could see that happening. And what else? My sleep is so much better. Of course, I'm not doing the overnights anymore, but I'm able to sleep through the night and not have to get up, 2 or 3 times a night. My dreams are vivid. Mark is having lucid dreams all over the place. He's been able to cut his insulin by 50% in the past 3 months. It went down by 10% in just the first day or two. And then over the next month or two, it went down by like 20%. Now it's down to 50%. So that is huge for us. And anytime I have an ache or pain, or my knee goes out or something, I just put a patch on it and it's instantly taken care of. So well, that's pretty much it for now, but we're so excited. And thank you so much, Peter, for all you and Marci and everyone does for us. All these calls, it's great.
Well, thank you, Andrée. Thank you, Mark. I really see how hard you both work, and I know you make the commitment. I mean, literally only 90 days, how everything just turned around. And I want everyone really just to kind of pay attention to what's happening into our community right now. I mean, all of us here, we're just showing up for this gym, but we're getting to see changes in the face, changes in the body. I mean, when people sleep, people can actually smile and have a nice day, or when they're pain-free, and even seeing scars diminish. But what I love to see is just environments change, where like our health is so good, our financial is well, where we can actually live the dream we want. But it's happening so fast here. Every 3 months, every 90 days, I can see things change in everyone's family's life. So thank you, Andrée. Thank you, Mark, for doing what you do. We appreciate you both, and just keep on going. And I can't wait to see you in the next 90 days, what's going to happen on your updates, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much, Peter.
You're welcome. So Geralynn, can you show everyone how this patch works, and why does it work, and how do you use it?
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for wonderful testimonials. Wow. Rose and Randy, pain, go away, right? Never come back. And Andrée and Mark too. Just those are wonderful, wonderful testimonials, and I love it. From Purgatory to Heaven. I think I'm going to name the call that. So it's so good. I love these patches. I mean, it's just every day we hear such incredible testimonials, and they just keep coming in. Like now I have a type 1 diabetic story. I've been waiting for that. So thank you so much for that, and using these patches and all these great things. So what I like about LifeWave is that it's just so simple and easy, right? You just talk to people, maybe show them a couple videos, and we get them on the patches. And it's so simple. Like the patches come in a sleeve like this, which is we call it a sleeve. It's a 30-day supply. And in there are 30 of these patches, which help activate our stem cells. And the thing is, basically for most of us, we put it on the back of the neck at the C7 or below the belly button. And we leave it on for 12 hours and take it off for 12 hours. And what it's doing is activating this copper peptide in our body through the heat on our skin. And basically we have these envelopes, so it's super simple. If people don't even know what to say, or if you send some to people, which is what we do a lot of the time, is we might send a few samples in the mail to people. You can just read this, or people know how to use it. And basically it just says you put it on for 12 hours a day, you take it off during the nighttime so your body can heal, repair, regenerate, and do all those good things and reset itself, right? So what we're doing is we're putting young tissue on top of old tissue. That's why we're hearing such great testimonials. So it's like the tissue's regenerating. So not only are we stopping the aging process, what we like to say is we're actually reversing it. And that's why we like to hear from people in a few months, because as we've been on these calls, for a lot of us stuck in the homes, we can see how people are actually growing younger. And we feel younger, we look younger, and we're having so much fun. And then the skin, of course, that's another big thing. Like you were talking about the scarring, that's really interesting, especially with a scar that you've had your whole life, basically. And so that's really, really cool. So by the time we're about 35, we've lost a lot of our stem cell activity. And by the time you're about 60, almost all your stem cell activity has been depleted. So we're not really producing the stem cells anymore. That's why these stem cell activation patches are so great. So they activate everything in your body to get that copper peptide working so that we can activate those stem cells again. So Peter, I don't know if there's anything else I missed, but Peter's going to talk a little bit on, for those of you who would like to get on the patches, or if you would like to share it, which is what all of us on this call have decided that we like to do, because we like to help others. And we feel it's kind of our mission to help and serve others and help them with all the issues going on. So Peter, take it away in the heat.
Woo, I am sweating up, of course. But this is called sacrificing for our community in hot weather. But thank you, Geralynn. And I also see the changes in you, like your skin is just going through the screen. Wow. What is LifeWave? Who created LifeWave? Our owner, our creator, his name is David Smith. I just want everyone to visualize being part of a company where the owner is actually, the CEO is actually the inventor and creator of these products. David Smith has been in the frequency world for many, many decades. He created LifeWave, his life's work, 15 years ago. And through the last 15 years, he has created some incredible patches that were exclusive, one of a kind. But 10 years ago, he knew the future was going to be about stem cells. So he invested a little bit over $5 million, tried 39 different times to call it the X39. And the X39 has been released a little bit over almost 2 years now. And in the last 2 years, it has revolutionized the industry, meaning the health industry, the stem cell industry now in the works. And as this product now is being shared all around the world, because we have distribution channel to over 100 countries, now the doctors are getting into it. Now they're getting to hear from their patients who are on it. Because why? Because these doctors are actually losing their patients because their patients are getting healthier every single day. So I don't know what kind of other revolution is going to happen, but all we know is a lot of doctors are joining us. They're getting to see this technology, and now we're sharing the gift of light, okay? So David Smith also knew when he created this patch, he also protected it with a 20-year patent, okay? So this product cannot be copied. It cannot be copied, and it cannot be duplicated. There will be only one, and that means our business is really protected for the next 20 years. But we're starting here in 2020. So how do you get started with us? It's easy. I like to say, what can this patch replace? Oh man, my hair is so hot out here. What can this patch replace? I want everyone just to go to your medicine cabinet, because look at Rose and Randy, look at Andrée and Mark. Would they have invested anything more than $5 a day? I mean, when Andrée heard this, they jumped on it. When Randy heard this, he jumped on it because it is so cheap or so affordable to even test this out to see if it works for you or not. So I hope everyone just understands, you know, for less than $5 a day, you can really get a guarantee, because our company gives you a 30-day guarantee or a 90-day guarantee. So for those of you who paid $5,000 to $10,000 for an injection, can you return your injection? Can you go, if it doesn't work, can you go to your doctor and tell them, I want to get a refund or on my injection? No, it doesn't work that way. So to get involved with us here is simple. Just join us as a retail customer. It's $150 for one sleeve, a month supply at retail. If you like to get it at wholesale, just click on the wholesale and get it shipped every month. And if you'd like to become our partner, we have 5 different packages you can choose from. The more you buy, the less it goes below to wholesale, to about $84 a sleeve. So if you'd like to join us, please talk to the person that invited you here. Tell them that you, 1, love to become our customer, or 2, become our partner and share this with the world. So Geralynn, I'm gonna pass it back on to you before I become a waterfall here. But thank you all for coming on our Sunday call, and I'm gonna go back and jump in the pool.
Thank you, Peter. Oh my gosh, I watched your shirt was dry. It's just soaking wet. So it's so crazy. I'm getting hot watching you, for goodness sakes. Look at that. But anyways, thank you so much for a wonderful call today, everyone. And we have these calls daily. So tomorrow's call will be at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, same channel, same everything. So be sure to dial in, and we'll have Marci will be on there, and I think Peter too. We'll have a whole new set of testimonials for everyone. And thank you again for taking time out of your Sunday to join us. So have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
It's wonderful.
Hey, good to see you, Bob.
Hey, good to see you all.
Thank you. Great call.
Hey, Bob.
Great calls. Great testimony.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Bye,
Great
everyone.
testimonies.
Great testimony.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Really good.